trenches, relax.
Welcome to the Trenches Podcast.
Look, that was on time.
Yeah. I'm getting good, man. It's only 4 or 5 episodes in. We're getting it.
Oh, I know. We're getting somewhere. Mm-hmm. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trenches. I'm here with Shop Talk, our beautiful series that Mr. Matt and I do, talking all about real estate finance for dummies. No, I'm just kidding. Breaking it down, breaking it down in a very easy to understand way. And yeah, here we are, bro. Episode 4.
I feel like we got some stuff to talk about today.
Man, we got some shit to talk about today.
I feel like you're over there trying to hide how you really. Sometimes you just gotta let it out, you know.
Yeah. And because of my new microphone, you're gonna be able to hear everything I say, and you're actually gonna be able to hear the tears come out of my eye.
Yeah.
While we talk about this shit.
I'm gonna have to listen back to this and see how good that microphone is, because this arm is. I mean, I like my setup for the time being, but now that we're actually making money on this podcast,
of course.
Now that we're seeing the checks come in, the revenue, Absolutely. Our dreams are coming true on this podcast. It's time to upgrade, at least over here.
Yeah. I mean, I can talk to my guy over here. I'm sure he can send you one. Drinking High Moons, bro. Those are good.
I was going to say, now that our Blue Chew sponsorship and our High Noon sponsorship has officially kicked in.
High Noon, we got some. The water I'm drinking hasn't cut the check yet, so I have the label towards me.
I did feel guilty when I just saw you sip water, and I was over here like...
Yeah, here's my shit that they did not pay me for. Nah, just kidding.
Yeah, well, it is 12:30 in the morning here in Chicago, so this is like my nightcap.
For sure. Yeah, sorry about that, bro.
6 p.m. where you are, 12:30 a.m. where I am.
Yeah.
Recording in Australia.
Yeah. Yes, we are. I'm about to move there because shit here is getting really frustrating.
Don't start. This is too
early. I'm joking.
Too early
it's too early. Yeah. You're right.
Like, to touch on your thing right now, I have a deal going on, and that's what's so funny. Like, you're so like in the beginning state. Like, I still get frustrated. Don't get me wrong, but like I know what you're going through because, dude, shit happens all the time. It's just crazy. Like I have a few deals going on that are supposed to close in April. And I woke up this morning and literally one of my deals is one of my clients is buying a 2-unit. One of the units is already rented. He's going to move into the bottom one. Real nice place. It's supposed to close on the 9th. So whatever day that is, 4 days from now. And so we're supposed to get what's called the clear to close, which is like all your appraisals in, all the documents have been reviewed. You're at the finish line. Clear to close is like the lender saying like, you're good, schedule closing, let's go.
Right.
And all of a sudden this morning was just fuckery, just absolute fuckery to now where like the deal might not even close. It might not even close. I went to the point of being like, oh yeah, just a couple more days. Like we're there, like almost like pre-celebration type shit. And
right. Like, oh man, finally we're at the finish line.
Like counting your money before it's in the, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where they say don't ever count your check until you get it at closing. Now I spent all morning calling the lender, calling this person, I called my guy Chris, the other lender, to see if he can save the deal. He looked at it and was like, I don't even know how they got him approved the first time. Like, he's like, I don't know how we're even like, so now we gotta figure out how to get this guy even to close. So it's frustrating all the time, bro. It's like, even when you think it's so bad. It's so bad.
I remember I texted you. I sent you a voice message. I'm like, bro, why didn't you tell me this shit was so fucking difficult, bro?
And I was like, and that could be about a few different things, but I'm assuming it's about this for sure.
You're like, bro, the application?
Yeah.
The shit that you gotta put your name on?
Yeah. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I literally was on FaceTime with you the night before while you were filling out the application. So I was like, I know you were at least 50% done when I got off. So I was like, what was hard? The other 50%? What do we do?
I sent it while we were here.
The multiple choice got difficult.
Yeah, bro. It's just like, how much you got in the bank? 800,000, 500,000, and I'm like, I got $3,000, bro.
Yeah, you're like the numbers don't start low enough. I don't understand. Where's the bubble that I need to?
Yeah. It's like when you take a test, bro, and you're like, you got like -4, and everybody else is like, oh, did you get 230?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
And you're like, which on a copy you won't show them because you know how wrong your answer is. So you like crumple your paper up real fast and throw it out. You don't want anyone to see it. But yeah, it's
bro.
frustrating. Don't like that's why it's so like rewarding at the same time. Like it's rewarding, especially if you do like the investment properties and whatever else. It's rewarding for cash flow and all of that. But it's legit rewarding just in the sense of like, oh, I started this and then I finished it too. Like I made it all the way to the end. Because they'll test your spirit during a deal. Your
I ain't gonna
spirit.
lie, bro. I was definitely a little like.
And like I said, you're like on the application point of it,
bro. Well, let's talk about it. We can talk about it, right?
It's up to you. That's not.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Not what I texted you 10 minutes ago. But okay. So
This is good. This is like we always say that like this is like a therapy session. Sometimes you just got to get it out to make sure that like you know.
Right. There's people in the house though, so I gotta.
You can't be too.
Therapy
can't be
session is
flipping.
after we. Yeah.
Can't be flipping tables over.
Yeah, and I almost started with this one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that.
Okay, so what's been happening in the past since the last episode, right? Is I started talking to you, and I'm just like, bro. So let's I re-listened to one of the episodes. First thing you got to do is get a pre-approval. Cool. So, and it helped me fill in too, bro, because I almost don't even know what I'm saying because everything's just been a blur.
I was just gonna say you're in the middle of the storm, so you don't even know where you are right now.
Yeah. So you actually referred me to Mr. Chris Diamond, and I've been talking to him back and forth. Like you said yesterday, I filled out the application, sent it to him. So in my mind, silly me, right? Silly me. In my mind, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have. Oh, so I had to do my taxes first. So I did my taxes. After I spoke to him, so that was on Friday. I did them on Friday. Everything was done. I sent him. So now I was able to take the next step, which was do the pre-approval stuff. Yeah. Shout out to my moms. Okay, so fuck, this just messed me up, bro.
You filled out. You did the taxes. Filled out.
So I did my
that
taxes.
way you can get the pre-approval.
Right. Filled out the pre-approval thing. And then I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to give you the application. And then all day today, I'm going to go and get the other paperwork you need, which is, can I say?
Yeah.
So in this specific...
I think so. I don't even know what you're about to say, but yeah, I got nothing to hide here.
Okay, cool. No, I was just saying with what Chris needs. I'm assuming it's...
Oh, yeah. That's all standard stuff. Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
standard stuff, yeah.
So what you need, according to Mr. Diamond, is copy of your driver license, your past 3 years of taxes, all personal taxes, any pensions, 401k stuff, investments like stocks and shit like that.
Blood type, firstborn child, all that kind of stuff.
Drop of blood, a tear. I was like, I got plenty of those.
Yeah, you're like, it's coming.
Let me know how many of those you need. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Anyway, so it was that plus a big ass application. So in my mind, I'm like, cool, I give it to him everything on Monday. By Wednesday, he will let me know how much house I can get. Go shopping by Friday. We popping champagne bottles.
Yeah.
Again, silly fucking me.
Way.
Yeah, we also talked about that too. I'm like, bro, what kind of champagne should we get? Like,
yeah, dude, it was in my Amazon cart. I put it in Amazon. I was getting a prime delivery, 2-day shipping.
You were like, I was like, bro, I'll fly you and Diego off for closing day, and it's lit, bro. Have a good ass weekend.
We were looking at flights last night.
Yeah, so with what I've mentioned in the first episode we ever did in Chicago, about how all this started was because of my income stopped pretty much, and that's when I realized I'm like, yo, you got to get this shit together. Well, with the income stop, it also drops your how much you made during the whole year, which I didn't think was a big deal because of liquid cash and other stuff that we had. I'm like, it's okay. This drop's not gonna be much.
Yeah.
Well, like it was a tank, so I guess that raises an eyebrow in the lending offices, right?
Yeah.
So that was the first roadblock where it's like, bro, we can't necessarily. Oh, and if you do barbers too, you should be doing 1099, right? Unless you get W-2, but that's a whole different.
Are you guys able to do
animal.
W-2 or no?
I don't think so, bro. I remember the first job I ever had cutting hair. It was at a pretty big corporate thing, and theirs was W-2.
Really?
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
So it was more like a chain style.
Yeah, so it's actually the company that owns Sports Clips. It's like their
Okay.
highest. It's called Roosters. Shout out to Mauricio for that job. Actually, bro, funny thing. Today 4 years ago was my first official day over there. But anyways,
Dang. Look at
so
you now
yeah, so-
filling out mortgage applications.
yeah. So I didn't know that filling out 1099 or filing that way, which is 1099 is when you're like a independent contractor, so you don't technically pay taxes every check. You have to do that with your write-offs and shit like that, which is a whole nother thing. But anyways, yeah, that's a curveball that in itself. But because with in my situation, the drop in income because of the move over here, then the whole world shut down, and then Vegas was basically closed. That took a toll on the financials that they look at. Obviously, they want to know how much you made for the past 3 years, and if one of them is significantly lower than the past two, they're like, bro, we can't do nothing for you.
Sniff it out.
Yeah, so from there, all this happened today, by the way, guys.
in
said-
like 4 hours.
Bro, within what time is it? 8? Probably since 8 o'clock this morning, bro.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think it's not a game over though at all. But it is important to know that like consistent income is almost just as important as like the amount of income. And
Right.
that's been a big. It's not just you. It's been a big trouble for a lot of people getting qualified during the pandemic because a lot of people. I had somebody get qualified originally, and then they found out it was right when the pandemic first started, and so all the pay stubs that I forget what job she had, but because of the pandemic, they were having her come into work and they were giving her hazard pay, so she was getting paid more money,
right.
but it was just temporary. For like a very short amount of time, but she handed in her pay stubs and made it seem like that's what she makes all the time, which was like $5 an hour more than what she usually makes, and so the original qualification, and then they found that out, and so they sniffed it. So it's just been tough with everyone's hours getting cut and everything else like that. So like I said, consistent income is almost just as important as the amount of income that you make on a yearly basis, and that's why, like I've been telling a lot of my guys over at the Opera House and stuff, they were talking about like refinancing their houses and all that, and they kept texting me every day like, hey, what are interest rates at now? What are interest rates at now? And I was like, hey, you guys are finally back to work for 15 weeks. You should do it now because you can actually show that you've had consistent income over the last however many weeks, months, or whatever. And so
Right.
I go, if you run the risk and you wait too long, and then you go back on unemployment or whatever, and now you have a big lapse in employment again, and now you were making X amount of dollars a week for the last 15 weeks, and now you're making, an eighth of that. I go, there's no way you're going to get qualified. So 1099, man, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and that's what somebody told me too. So actually, after I feel like I'm exposing myself, bro. I'm a little lone thought out here. So I talked to a couple guys, and there's this dude out here. So in the midst of people telling me like, no, we can't do it, and other people telling me, yeah, we can do it like that. We just gotta go different ways. And they're like, yeah, just call my guy, bro. They're in Texas. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, bro, but like it's a different time zone, and like I can't even go talk to the person. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I want to sit down, shake your hand, talk to you, and stuff like that. So it's like, I can't pull up on the motherfucker. So like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So now other people, whatever. So then I'm like, oh wait, there's a dude that I work with. He just bought a house, and he's 1099, and the person that he was with at the time was also a hairstylist, which was also 1099. So I'm like, bro, this is fucking perfect. So I call him, and I was like, hey, bro, if I can ask you, like, who did you go through to get this house? I'm having a pain in the ass. So he was actually his pops, and he, I guess, is pretty big out here too. And he spoke to me, and he was just like, yeah, bro, let's do it. Let's, get in contact with, my lender. And it was basically the same thing, but he kind of like explained it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because he was like, so how long, like, are you consistently making the same now to where it bumps it up? And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, on track now, I'll be close to where I was, not 2020 but 2019. But it hasn't been long enough.
Yeah,
it
hasn't.
But for like maybe 2 months, it's been semi-consistent. He's like, yeah, bro, it's not gonna be long enough. So
It's tough, and that's because like I've had it too, where like people like especially during the pandemic, where people a lot of like the union guy, like there was a guy, he worked for a factory, one of these auto factory jobs, and he got laid off for like 2 months, and so Chris was just like, yeah, he's like, it's fine. He was consistent before that. All he has to do is go back to work for like whatever it was, 60 days, show consistent income for 60 days, and then he's back on track, and then it'll be in a much better. So it's kind of case by case, but it's just like I said, consistency is almost like it's easier if you only made $40,000 a year, but it was consistent money as opposed to like making 65 or 70, but like it was like real choppy to get there. Like you made 20 in 60 days, and then you went 90 days without making any money, and then you made another 10, and then no money for 30. So it's like they would rather see the consistency. Because from a lending standpoint, obviously, it's just like, hey, is this guy going to be able to pay his mortgage? Does he make consistent money? And it worries them when people go 30, 60, 90 days without making money, or not as much money as they were making before, because it's like shit can happen then. So I guess I get it. I mean, lenders and banks are scumbags anyway, so they'll just use any excuse. But
gotcha. Yeah, because that's I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it, because we never really got to this point to where it was like hands on. At least to where it's like this, right, where I'm actually speaking to people. But it's I don't know. It's just kind of wild, bro. Because I'm telling them like. But I guess I get it, because it needs to be on paper. But it's just like, bro, there's 2 incomes that we can take. Like this can be taken care of.
I know
this shit can be taken care of easy.
It's
even
funny.
With side money, bro.
It's funny that like, I read a quote the other day, and it was like a funny one where they were saying like same exact situation as this, where like a lender will, like say you had a rent, you were paying $1,500 in rent. And like a lender will tell you, you fill out the approval, and they're like, no, you don't qualify for a $1,500 mortgage. Yet when you're 18, they'll go give you $100,000 in loans to go to college,
bro.
But when you don't make any money, but yet when you're trying to go get a house and you're already, you don't qualify for a $1,500 a month house, yet you're paying $2,000 a month in rent. And it's just like, it's so ass backwards sometimes on the lending side. And then like I said, it's ass backwards because at 18 you can go take out $50,000 to $100,000 in loans to go to college that most likely will never get paid back, and they know that.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Yeah, it's a weird weird game, because again, in my situation too, like, I'm married, but we file separately, and again, I'm like, bro, we share a bank account, like, bro, the bread is there, you know what I mean? But I get it, I guess. So now it's just like we have to tango.
We gotta joint
dance,
account,
bro.
huh?
Yeah, we got one, but there's another one that's still money to the side too. So I'm telling him, like, bro, we got this one. I got, how much you need, bro? Like, I'll cut you a check.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem? Bro?
On the table, under the table, we'll get down any way you want. Whichever way you need it to go. I'll write a note. I'll do whatever I got to do.
Bro, so that's super frustrating, because, and then again, that just, because at least for us, we went into it, we're going into it thinking, this is the route we want to take.
Yeah.
Right? So now we keep getting knocked off that thing, and then we have to explore different options that we didn't even really
want to explore.
Either want to or even considered, which is also like, well,
because you thought it was going to be this thing, and so you never even considered any other options.
So now it's a whole different thought process.
I think it's a great learning experience, and it's kind of it touched back on previous episodes that we've done, where it's just like it becomes, we can talk about it all we want. Damn, I make this too bright. There we go. You can talk about it all you want. But it's just like one of those things where it's like sometimes you got to go get like hands on and actually start doing something. And so it's like you're getting that first initial taste of like what it's like to go, like getting a mortgage, like getting a loan and getting a mortgage is stressful. Like I hate doing it. I've done it however many times, and I still hate doing it every time. Like every time it comes to a process or a time where I'm like, I got to go get a mortgage, I got to go buy this, and I've been with Chris for 10 years. Chris knows ins and outs of everything about me in terms of my finances, my jobs. He's been with me for every job, every property, everything, and it still sucks every time. Still got to hand over that big stack of papers. Still got to go through the entire process. at some point in the middle of the deal, you're going to get a phone call from the lender saying, hey, underwriters are looking at this. Can you provide? And then you got to like go rummage up a bunch of random papers from like 13 years ago that have cobwebs on them. And you're like, is this it? And they're like, no, not that. You're like, is this it? And you're panicking.
Yeah.
You had to leave work early to go get these papers because they close at 5 and you need it signed by. It's a mess sometimes.
Yeah, bro. I was like on the phone all day, and then I was just like, I ran to the bank and stuff like that, and then I should have, bro.
Yep.
I go to the bank, right, and the lady, I'm like, hey, I need again, I'm at this point, I'm still in a good ass mood. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get all my paperwork, send this shit to who needs to get it, and then I'm asking her for this and that. She's like, oh well, your statement is until
I fucking hate that.
Only from the 17th of March.
That.
And I'm like, okay, but I need it like from today.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm like, I figured that shit out. It's right there.
Turn around and go get it.
I'm like, just print this shit out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just take screenshots from my phone. And then until then. You can't do that?
It depends. I mean, I think for like the pre-approval process you can, but like once you get into like the actual process of the loan, like if you got pre-approved and you go, it has to be all like they have a very specific thing. Like when you give them statements, it either has to have like there's a like for Chase Bank, they have the way that you print it. It has to be from like the actual website. It has to be a certain way where like it'll have a URL at the bottom, like this long URL. Or you have to go into the bank, talk to a banker, and then they stamp each and every page with like the stamp
like
of
a seal.
Yes, a seal on each and every page, and then you can scan that and send it over. But it has to have that seal, and the seal has like the
she
date
ain't do
on
that
it.
shit with me, bro.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, for like the beginning, like for just like a pre-approval process, because at that point they're just kind of gathering items and look. And like I said, when you get a pre-approval, it'll be like the lender will ask you like, what are you trying? Like whenever I send somebody to Chris, I'm like, hey, Chuy is coming over. He's looking for a 2-unit. Here's some of the properties he was looking at. So I think we're going to be around like 300 price point. Here's like some details, blah, blah, blah. So that way he knows when he's doing the pre-approval, he knows kind of, and so that pre-approval will have like a general number on it. And he'll tell you like, here's the monthly payment of what you cannot exceed. Here's what the taxes cannot exceed. And it'll kind of have that. And then when you pick out an actual property, that's when he'll run the numbers of that actual property to make sure that you'll qualify for that. So he'll put in the actual property tax amount, the actual insurance amount, the actual purchase price, all of that to make sure you qualify.
Gotcha.
So that's when the statements have to be like legit.
So this is the round of papers isn't even over after the first time, bro?
Oh, baby, wait till you get to closing.
Why? What you got? Bro, one thing at a time. Like,
wait till you get to closing. You got to do hand stretches and shit before you get to closing. You're just all cramped up.
But by then, it's like you're almost crossing the finish line, right?
Yeah. Again, though, don't count your shit. I was at a closing over the summer. This poor guy, man. He's bought a few properties through me. Really, really nice guy. How much of this do I want to say?
Remember, we have an amazing editing team over here.
Yeah. Beep. So I won't air anybody's name out, but This was like during the because as we all know, the housing market is absolutely insane right now, and everybody, common sense would say when the pandemic first started, quarantine, lockdown, like your common sense would think like the market would just take an absolute hit, and it did the absolute opposite, and so. Refinances were huge. I mean, it was insane how busy it was. And so Chris was just like bogged down. Like he just couldn't take on another. And he's always been so great at like, I'm sending him over somebody. He calls them. He gets in contact with them. And I literally had a guy and I was like, hey, can you take this guy on? And he was like, honestly, he's like, it's okay if you send him to somebody else. He's like, I just can't right now. Damn. So I was like, okay. And so I had to call my number 2, which I've been with Chris for 10 years. I have plenty of lenders, but nobody that like. And so I sent my guy to this number 2. Mm-hmm. The lender's a very nice guy. Don't get me wrong, but this deal got fucked up. real bad.
Damn, why?
So it was supposed to be a 30-day close, and it ended up stretching all the way to 120 days. So it went from a 1 month to a 4 month close. On a 3-unit building, it was the simplest of deals. Like that, they were gonna move into one of the units, rent out the other 2. The building was empty. Like there was just no real moving parts to this deal. The appraisal came in really short. So it came in, if I remember correctly, like $60,000 short.
Damn,
so that definitely threw a wrench in it. But we were able to agree on price and all that kind of stuff. But so the lender just was not great the entire time. So we get to closing. We finally 100 and whatever. We get to closing, and all of a sudden the lender calls my buyer and was like, "Hey, I need this, and this from you, like these documents out of nowhere at closing. We're signing fucking the closing documents at the closing table, and the lender calls and was like, we're requesting items from my buyer." And I'm sitting there, and I don't, like, realtors, like buyer's agents don't do shit at the closing. Like, we've already done everything. We're just there for support and just, whatever.
For sure.
And all of a sudden the lender starts calling, and my buyer's just looking at me, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, what do they need? And so found out that, like, something got messed up. We couldn't close. So closing, we did what's called a dry closing, where all the paperwork is signed. You don't have to re-sign the paperwork, but my buyer wired the money over for the down payment for the closing, and so they had to wire him back the money, and then he had to wire that money back into the account, let it sit, and then we had to come back the next day for closing. And we weren't even sure it was going to close the next day because that wire had to hit his account, fully settle, and then he had to send it back. It was a disaster. So like even at closing, dude, you're just like, that's what I'm saying. Like until they hand you the check, until they hand you the keys, until they tell you like the lender has wired the money over, it's just, So that was the last time I had worked with that guy. Actually, I worked with that. I got 2 deals under contract at the same time, and so Chris was too busy, obviously, because it was the same exact time frame. So that deal did a dry closing, and then the next deal was another one that took way too long, and so I actually had to kick the other lender off the deal like 90 days into the deal, and I had to bring Chris on to save the deal, and Chris got it closed within like 20 days. I had to do an audible at the line and bring in a new lender 90 days in.
Like, bro, you're out. Chris,
yeah, and the lender got them salmon shorts on.
Oh, those are my favorite.
I knew it was 90 when I saw those shorts. Yeah, like the original lender called me, and he legit like was so frustrated on the deal that I've never heard, like, just like that. It's the definition of a grown man, just like he was just so defeated. He took like the biggest exhale on the phone of just defeat, and he's like, I don't really know what to do anymore, man. Like, if you want to give this to somebody else, go ahead. He's like, I'm done. He's like, I don't know what to do. He goes, I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't be. What do you mean you're done?
Hold on.
You're not allowed to be done. Yeah. He took the deepest exhale like a dog does right before they go to sleep, where they're just like, and I was like, what's up? And he's like, dude, I don't know what to say, man. I'm just done. I was like, done what?
Yeah. Like done with dinner? Because we
got
done
with a lot of things, but
right now.
Yeah, you done drinking? You done what? Like, I don't know what you're done with, but you're not done with this deal. And so I called Chris, and he had to jump on a deal. Chris had to analyze it first, though, and make sure he could do it. And he's like, yeah, I can get it done. And so we had to transfer everything over, and he was able to get it closed. But yeah, man, it's just so to say that your frustrations are like an isolated incident, and it's just you, and it's just so common. It's so common.
Yeah.
If a deal goes normal, like I've had one closing probably in the last 12 months where it was so smooth. We were at closing, and she was signing the paperwork, and she like looked up at me and my attorney, and she's like, I'm just waiting. I was like, what's up? And she's like, I'm just waiting. I was like, for what? And she's like, for just something to go wrong. She's like, why was it? This was so smooth. Everything went happen so fast. And I was like, shut up. Sign it, sign. Don't you fucking even say that out loud right now. What is wrong with you? but like that's the only one in the last that was like truly no hiccups at all during the entire process. Like everything went according to plan. Just never happened.
Yeah, bro. It was one of those things too where it's funny, man. My dad was looking at me like, "You all right? You need something?" I'm like, "I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good."
you were visibly fucked.
Yeah, I was. Well, because it wasn't until like an hour ago where I was just like, "Dude, I'm about to just bash my head through this wall." But I gotta sneeze, bro.
When I FaceTimed you, I could just hear you like you were crunching, like you were grabbing like stuff real hard.
Yeah, it was this hair tie. It's like a little. I have like one of my son's little toys, to keep me calm.
Yeah. It's like when I used to play PS4 and I would get real mad during the game, like if something were to happen,
Right.
and I would just squeeze the controller so hard, and I could just hear everything inside of it just like crushing to the. If I squeezed it just even an ounce harder, the whole thing would have broke, and I just let go at okay, and I just keep playing. Okay. That's what I heard when I first FaceTimed you before the episode.
Yeah, bro. It's but it's good. It's a learning experience. But you know what though? I like shit like this though. Like it sounds crazy. I really like stuff because this is not, this. I mean, this is obviously the first time in this situation, but I don't know. I always feel like I have just terrible luck and shit always like goes wrong. But it always tastes so much better at the end, bro. It always tastes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I really like. I think real estate and stuff is rewarding for so many different reasons, and that's one of them. It's just like how many times I just had it, and it's just always going back to it. I had a closing in the wintertime just a couple months ago, and it was a single mom with 2 kids, like teenage kind of kids, and she was just recently divorced. She was living in like the old house to where they used to live, and like it was just drama the entire time. And she's like, I need this new place so bad, fresh start, the whole deal. Right. And like we had some issues during the same exact thing. Like a bunch of stuff was wrong during the inspection, and it just like was a lot of stuff. But we ended up getting it all resolved. And then like she was like crying at closing and just saying like how important it was to her to start over and how happy and so it's just like. That type of stuff is, like I said, real estate's one of the only things that, like, a situation like that exists, where it's just, like, so rewarding. Because there's so many moving parts during a closing and during a transaction. You got lenders, you got agents, you got insurance companies, you got inspectors, you got appraisers. You have so many moving parts, so it's like something is going to go wrong. It's like a car, man. There's 65 different moving parts on a car when you're driving. Something is eventually going to go wrong on it. It's just a matter of time and a matter of fact. There's too many things. Yeah, the numbers.
Yeah, I did.
Just knowing how to fix it so you can keep it moving.
Right. And that was to where I was like, that's when I told you, I'm like, bro, what's plan B? Because, but also too, it's just been a long ass day, bro. So maybe I'm just like, I'm not thinking right. You know what I mean?
Mentally,
not thinking right.
Mentally fatigued.
Yeah, I'm checked out. I'm checked out for the day when it comes to this. Pick it up back tomorrow, and go from there.
I think you'll be okay, and I think it's also just like an inexperienced thing too. Like dude, I'm running into the same thing. I got that 36 unit that we're under contract for. We literally just got under contract
a few days ago, right?
3 days ago. Officially under contract. We've been negotiating, doing all of our due diligence for like over a month, and we finally got it all done. And so now we're officially under contract. One of my partners that I'm partnering on it with literally texted me. I was on the phone earlier, so maybe 2 hours ago, and he's like, "Hey, dude, just talk to the lender," because I had to send over. Commercial is a different animal than residential. Right. So residential, like what you're doing, they care about you more than they care about the property. They care about you as the borrower. Who are you? How much money do you make? What's your credit score? All that kind of stuff. On the commercial side of things, they care more about the asset and they care more about the property than they really care about you as the borrower. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
cool. To an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, except on this. So for this property, my partner yesterday was just like, "Hey, can you send me over all of your properties, all of your experience, your managing experience, all that kind of stuff?" So I was like, "Yeah." So I sent it over today.
That long ass list of
yeah. I was like, they're in New York. I was like, "Do you guys have more paper in New York? Because we're out of it in Chicago. I got no more paper left." which is funny because the very next part of this is he texted me 2 hours ago. He's like, "Hey man, they looked at your experience and they're not happy about it."
What?
I was just like, "Yeah." I was like, "What do you mean?" And so I was like, "What does that mean?" And there's a company called who cares? Lima One.
Yeah.
Who cares? They're a good company. They do like rehab loans, and they're more of like an alternative financing company. But I tried going through them like 2 years ago, and they turned me down because I don't really do fix and flips. I don't flip properties.
Yeah.
It's like opposite of what I do. And so I've never been interested in it. I've only done like one or two, and that's it. And so they turned me down because I didn't have flipping experience. And so I had a good conversation with the guy though, and he was like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "That's just, it is what it is." And so I was like, "Okay." So I told my partners, I was like, "Oh, is it Lima One?" Because I told you guys this months ago, like Lima One's not gonna. And he's like, "No, it's this other company." And I was like, "Well, I'm confused. What do you mean I don't have the?" So he's like, "Let's get on a call tomorrow." He's like, "We're gonna call them." And I go, "If they want to talk to me on the phone," I was like, "They can quiz me. We can go over everything. Like, I don't, we'll figure it out." And so, yeah, it's one of those things where it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's just I'm at an experience level, and I not that I'm even the fucking greatest knowing at all, but it's just like I have enough experience now where it's like I always know that something could potentially happen problem-wise, and I have a little bit of experience where like I can try to figure out another alternative solution to it.
Right, you know how to problem solve, certain,
Yeah,
I'm sure most of
that
us
just
gets
comes
thrown
from
at you.
Yeah, and that just comes from experience. So like your frustration lies in that you don't have the experience. So like you're hitting that first wall and you just don't know the route to get over that wall or around it or under it or anything like that. So that just comes from experience. And so, like I said, you're gonna get it figured out. And I think it's just a time thing of just like letting the lenders look at it some more and figure out some alternative options of because these guys they can move some numbers around and they can make stuff happen that, legally, of course.
Right.
Legally.
Yeah, it's just
above board.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna be a mogul soon enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, bro. And that's what the guy, it's funny that you said that. The lender was like, "So, what are you trying to do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to build a portfolio." And
Take over the world.
Yeah. He was just like, "Oh, okay. Like, what do you mean?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What I mean?" And I was like, "How are you gonna do this one?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna do the FHA. I'm gonna live in one, and then I'm gonna, rent the other three, and then, 12 to 24 months, rent that, leave that, and then that's why I want to do it under my name, and then the next one I can do it under my wife's name, and we'll do the same shit." And he's like, "Who you been talking to?" I'm like, "Actually, I have a podcast. You should check it out. Listen to that shit. I hope he's watching this." No, but yeah, he was like this. He's like, "No, I mean that's the same. He's like that's a good plan. Just unfortunately because of this, have to figure out alternative routes." And then he's like, "But we'll get you there." He's like, "I can see it already." But he said something. He said something to me too. This is kind of a little off topic, but he was saying that, we for the first one, for example, we do FHA, but for the second one, we can switch the loan to conventional and do FHA for the second one. Or did I?
Yeah. So what the plan is that what you would do is you would buy FHA for the first property because regardless. So you would want to use the FHA for the first property, and then like we had mentioned before, FHA requires you to move in within the first 60 days of closing, and then they want you to occupy that property for a minimum of 12 months. So what you want to do is after 12 months, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, you refinance the property. So you refinance out of the FHA, so you get your FHA back, and you refinance into a conventional loan. So now property number one is no longer an FHA loan, it's a conventional loan.
Right.
And so that frees up your FHA to now go use an FHA on the next property.
Yeah, see, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if that were the case, does that mean that the mortgage goes up in the first one?
It depends. So they both have different interest rates. They both have different blended rates. They both have different things. So that's the thing too. It's just like my first property I bought FHA, my 3-unit, and I held that property for 5.5 years. I had my FHA on there for probably 3 years. I think I even refinanced if I remember correctly, this is so long ago, but I think I refinanced my original FHA, and I can't remember, but I had it on there for like 3 years. It just made sense, like where rates were at that time, what I had on the property to begin with, and I was just buying like shitty little $60,000 houses, so like 20% down was, but yeah, I kept that FHA for a while. So it all depends on what the situation is. Like if the interest rate makes sense, and so that's why it's always, we talk about running numbers. So it's just like running the numbers on that second place. And does it make sense to refinance to get, to do, most of the time it's going to make sense to refinance, to put a conventional on the one and free up your FHA, because it's going to be 3.5% down.
Yeah. I just thought that was pretty cool. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty legit.
Refinance is going to be another like hurdle that you're gonna like. Refinances are fun too.
Why?
It's not as like
as glamorous.
It's not as complicated as like a flat out purchase, but it's the same exact thing. Like when I know that it's time for me to do a refinance, I just get in that mood where I'm just like, fuck. All right, here we go. Because it's the same. You gotta give documents. You gotta give. It's an entire process. Right. And it's about 30-day process, same as buying. But in the grand scheme of things, like to move forward, like it's all just necessary evils in order to continue to, move forward. So it's just one of those things. So. But you won't refinance it for the first, like I said, it'll be a year, 2 years, whatever. And then, so it's all necessary evils. You'll want it, like, you'll be excited to refinance. That first refinance, though, is the best refinance, though, because it's like you're excited because that first refinance is to move on to that second place.
Yeah.
So that's the fun one.
Okay. So it just kind of clicked, too, that, so at this rate, it'd be, well, okay. So with FHA the first time, right? We do this first building. Hopefully, everything fucking works. We get this first one, and then because I'm owner occupying that one, I have to wait 12 months. So basically, I get one building a year.
Technically.
How do?
So FHA, like I said, requires you to move in within 60 days, and then they require you to occupy for 12 months. So like with my 3-unit, it's in the FHA guidelines that says like if your circumstances change,
that's right.
You can move residences. So I was able to. I had 2 of my units rented out. I was occupying one. On that month 12, according to FHA guidelines, if my work situation or any of my circumstances changed, where living there no longer made sense and I had to go somewhere else, I was able to legally, according to FHA, move out, go purchase something else, and rent out my unit.
Gotcha. Okay.
If I rented out all 3 units and I didn't occupy prior to the 12 months, then I would be breaking that FHA guidelines, and that is considered mortgage. So that's like buying a 3-unit with FHA. So FHA is owner occupied. So I'm stating, like when you do an FHA too, you're going to sign a bunch of FHA paperwork that they'll make you say it 1,000 times in that paperwork, like where you're signing it, saying like I am occupying this property. And so if you buy it, saying I'm going to live here, and then day one you just rent out all 3 units, that is considered mortgage fraud. And so you could, whatever. So. But according to their guidelines, at month 12 and beyond, if your circumstances change, you're able to move out.
Gotcha. Yeah, we don't want to commit any mortgage fraud out here.
No, sir. No, sir. We're above.
Yes, sir. That's a no. Some things we do under the table. That's not one of them. I'm just kidding.
I like accessories, but handcuffs ain't one of them. I'd say.
Yeah, no. Especially you, bro. I don't think you do well in there, bro.
I don't think I would. Are you kidding me? I was gonna beat you to the punch, but I'll let you talk about it. There is not a chance. I watch those shows, 60 Days In.
Dude,
and all
those
that
are
bullshit where they
intense, bro. Those are.
What are you guys doing, dude? I watched the one, and it's like this. I'm like,
God.
what in your right? Have some self-awareness. What makes you think that you of all people are gonna do well in there,
bro? those shows are
The one guy was
insane.
getting he was just kept getting punched in the face when he was in there. They just kept punching this guy in the face.
Oh my
And then
gosh,
he had to
bro.
leave.
Bro, can I tell you something?
Oh my god.
Bro, so today at the gym, right? Thank God I got a good workout in before all this stuff happened, because I probably would have killed somebody by now.
Yeah.
But I was having that same thought, right? Where I was just like, there was a large group of gentlemen, hogging all the benches. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to dumbbells today.
Yeah, not even.
I think I'm a big dude, right? I'm 5'11",
Yeah.
Bro, I've been working out. Look at these shoulders. Stop playing.
Yeah,
Stop
yoked.
playing with
Just
me.
absolutely,
You see
yeah.
that back?
You in a tank top right now would
Bro, you
just
see that back?
kill
I've
it.
been working on it.
Yeah, you got a wingspan going and everything. Oh, you're flying out.
And I had to walk past them to get to the dumbbells, and I'm like, these are very large gentlemen. And then in my mind, I'm like, bro, jail's probably full of motherfuckers like this. I'm thinking I'm big, and I'm like, bro, I'm this. But the same thought happened to me, because I don't know why. I was just thinking that today. But I'm like, yeah, I would not do well in there.
Dude, because they have it in a few different places. The one, I think it's in like New York or something like that. And that initial, like, when they march them all in and like the doors pop and they just got that fucking stupid curled up cot and shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know what's fucked up is that they don't even tell, like, jail is so fucked up, dude. They don't even tell them, like, hey, you're going to be in A2.
Right,
They're just like, yeah,
figure it out.
Go find an open place. Yeah. I would do so poorly in that situation. Most of those guys, like, they go in there and they just sleep on the ground under the stairs. They don't even try to. And you know what I almost found out more fucked up than that is the fucking people, the bathroom where the toilets and shit are in people's cells. So you have to go ask for permission to go take a shit in there. And most of those guys are mean, and they go, no, you can't come in
No,
here.
I'll do you one better. I was watching, and
What?
you can only flush one time a day. So you might have to take a poop, and there's other poop in there and other pee in there. So that backsplash
dude.
is pretty nasty. And there's not like a door,
Well,
there's no curtain, so you gotta do it in front of everybody.
One of my best buds went to he was incarcerated for a little bit, and he told me that the lingo for that was drop one, flush one. That was the when you had a cellmate and it was just two of you, and if you were taking a dump, if you dropped one, you gotta flush every single one that goes in.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. There's no lingering.
No lingering. But in the one that I watched, like I said, it was 4 guys in a cell,
Right.
and if you had to go, and there was not a bathroom in every cell. There was only a bathroom in one cell.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was terrible if you were the guys in that cell, because you just had people all day long taking shits in your cell or trying to come in there and take a shit. And then B, on the other side, if you had to take a shit and you go in there and you're like, hey man, can I go to the bathroom? And they're like, no. And I'm just like, dude, if that's me and it's day one.
Bro, it's funny because I can see you too, because you're kind of tall, right? And you can just be like, you put it.
Yeah, that's
you
it,
put on
though.
a serious face,
That's
like,
it.
hey, what's going on? May I
man.
use the bathroom? And they're like,
Yeah,
you're
y'all
like,
got a bathroom in there? Yeah. And then I'm just like, yeah. And then if they said no, like, imagine it being an adult, a grown man, and having an argument about, like, if they said no, what's my next move? I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? I see it right there. Can I go? And they're like, no, you
like,
can't.
no, we don't have a bathroom.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right. And then you just, like, the camera's out. I'm just laying down on the ground, like, holding my stomach. 'Cause I'm just like, and then they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, they're being mean to me. I can't go to the bathroom.
Bro, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to join a gang, dude.
That's
it. But you have two options.
But that's
You got to.
I don't want to join the white
That's what I
guys.
was gonna
Dude,
say.
have you ever seen the white guys in those? Like, they're not. That's not me. Those guys are not me.
No, not.
And I don't want to disrespect any of our viewers or anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that those aren't our viewers. But like, those guys are like big hillbillies with like long hair and like, yeah, dude. I don't.
Well, there's
associate with
two
that.
options, right? You're one of those, or you have to shave your head and get and a couple lightning bolts tattooed on your neck. You know what I mean? So it's like
So tough,
bro.
I want to go jump in with. Yeah, I don't. That's an episode that I watched where the white guy tried jumping in with the Mexican guys.
Really?
And yeah, and then he jumped in with the black guys because he associated more with the black guys than he did with the white people. And the one black guy was like, "Yeah, you can come with us," and all the other black guys were like, "Hey, man, this is gonna be a problem."
Yeah.
And then the white guys came in there like, "We want him back." And there was like a big thing, and then they made the white guy go with the white, and he didn't want to go. And I was like, "This is so stupid."
Yeah, that's wild.
Take my oatmeal pies and leave me alone. I would be, dude,
bro.
I don't even know. I would be giving away all my, I don't know, not my booty, but my
For sure. Hey, bro.
I would do so poorly.
You know, I'm not even gonna say it, bro. No. One thing too that I kind of this is we can do a whole episode about this shit, bro. I saw one where
dude, you don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so weird that we're talking about it. I cannot tell you how much I've thought about this, like in my adult life. Like the fear of going to jail, and just like, and not even like the fear of what we're talking, like those awkward moments of like not being able to go to the bathroom, or like, what if I'm on the computer trying, like like the monitor where you like go to put in your, and what if someone comes up behind me and starts putting in things that they like, now I gotta deal with that.
bro, they like, it's so crazy because like those things, like they
Fucking
bro, they
bullies, fucking bullies,
bro, they force you to like fight, bro. Like you can't just not be like, oh, okay, because it's like, oh, bro, you're just gonna let him do that to you? Like you gonna be a bitch, or like,
and they
then
try
you have to fight, and then you get put in this little in the, when you do get in trouble, you have to go in that room where it's just like a cinder block.
You gotta go in solitary confinement.
Sucks.
Yeah, I'm like, leave me alone, Terrence. Yeah, I am gonna let him do that to me. All right, leave me alone, man. I'm fucking by myself. If he wants to add Cheetos on my account, I don't care. Let him have it.
Bro, but then you could.
My dad's sending me money anyway. I don't care. All right,
bro. Or
trust
you just
fund.
have to walk the first person. Like I think this goes two options, right? You let Terrence take your stuff, or the first person you see, you punch him in the face.
I know, but I feel like
I mean, I'm not saying that like that's what I would do. I would definitely let Terrence take my Cheetos.
just
Yeah, you can have them,
but
bro.
be quiet about
Yeah,
it.
like don't tell nobody.
Here's
Don't
the
tell
thing.
nobody.
I'll give you what I want. Yeah, I'll give you what you want, but just don't tell everybody about it. Just take it in fucking peace and go, and then come back tomorrow. I'll give you more, but just leave it alone. Just don't tell anybody about it. Let's have a fucking. Let's be men about it, huh? Don't be a jerk. I think the punching in the face thing is
It's aggressive.
Definitely
It's aggressive.
thing that you can. It's very aggressive because it can go great or it can go way side. Who are you punching in the face? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
My thing
what if
though
that's
is
the
like
leader?
these. Yeah, and I've seen.
Yeah,
yes,
I've seen
but
those episodes too. Does not look like don't think it pan out well for anybody.
Yeah, dude, I watched one where they weren't even punching. They just kept slapping him in the face. They didn't even have. He wasn't even enough of a threat where they were punching him. They just kept slapping him.
Man, bro.
Open hand slapping him in front of everybody. And he just like he did one of those like where he was crying with no tears.
No.
Like he was just like standing there and just his face was all red.
Because that's the thing. Like you,
I was like, go lay down. Just go lay down after
bro.
that.
Because there's no
Lights
like
out.
at least in the ones that they show, bro. There's no like security, not security. Like
Oh,
POs
dude,
around there. You
non-existent.
have to either defend yourself for at least 3 minutes for those fat motherfuckers to run in there and try to break shit up.
Dude, what about the showers and shit?
That's another one, bro.
And that's like
I'm not shower. I mean, so somebody told me if you don't shower, it's better because then
why?
then they're not gonna take your goodies.
Oh, dude.
I'll be funky for nobody to take my goodies, bro.
Do you think that like I mean I think that is a good repellent to a decent amount of them, but I think that there's some in there that don't give a fuck.
Bro, do you watch the women episodes?
They don't give
Bro,
a
do you
fuck.
watch the women episodes?
Yeah, they're almost grosser than the dudes.
Bro, there's this. Hold on, let me restart. Hold on.
They're all horny in
Bro,
there.
I got a good one. Hold on, let me turn this shit up. So check it out.
Dude, I by the way, I was on a 60-day in binge for like the last couple months.
Bro, it's wild. So you know who Cardi B is, right?
Yes.
So her like best friend, management, whatever. She's like some big time like blood allegedly in New York, and Cardi is like under her, right? You know what that means? So
Yeah.
she's like
Yeah,
her, her head honcho. Anyway, so I guess she did like some serious time, and she was talking up because like she was saying that like pretty girls in there like they get like taken by women that are. Okay, so here's the thing. So women that were in the process, let's just say there's a woman and she's transitioning to become a man, but she gets busted in that time and let's just say in that transition she's taking like testosterone and stuff. Well, she still receives that while she's incarcerated.
So she's like a manly ass female with a bunch of females.
Yeah. So with taking testosterone because
so she all horny.
So she's both.
She's strong and horny.
Both, bro.
She's
so,
strong and horny.
According to Cardi B's manager, I forget her name, bro, but she was saying that like, her roommate was one of those individuals. I'm sorry, one of those individuals.
Sure. That
were taking the steroids or whatever, and I guess what this her roommate did was like wrap some socks up with some tape. Or like something made makeshift, one of these.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and like tried to. It was like hitting her in the face with it, and like trying to, do one of these.
Wow.
Do one of these.
But why?
That was the question. So she was being she was on bro. I'll send you the link. It's fucking crazy. It's on.
There's crazy people out there, but that doesn't even that combination doesn't even make sense to me.
Well, because I guess because she's
like pick one.
Well, hold on, bro. Because I guess it was a control thing, but it was also like that individual would do that to other girls, but she would say that she would be doing it as like she felt it, like she was. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. That shit was wild. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, and that's just stuff that we know about too.
Yeah, that's just something that she was like, I guess, manly enough to talk about.
Like. Dude, I watch those shows and I'm like, I like the dudes in there and I'm like, I can smell them through the TV.
The bros.
They look like it's like when I'm walking through the city and there's like a home. Like the other day I was walking and like this fucking homeless dude was in. God bless the homeless. I give money when I can and things like that. I was walking on the sidewalk and he was on the median in the middle of the street. And like I don't know why, but he saw me and just decided I was gonna be the victim.
Right.
I had a victim mentality going, and so he fucking fled across the street, like cutting cars off and shit, and like ran in front of me and he was so gross.
Yeah.
He just like everything, his teeth, his mouth, his lips, and he just kept screaming in my face.
Really, bro?
And I was like, get the fuck away I'm gonna kill you. Get away from me. But like at the same time, I didn't mean it because I was like, there's no way I would ever touch. There's no way. I wouldn't touch you. I wouldn't do there's no way.
Bro, you didn't have your dogs with you?
Dude, no. My dogs would have been like, what is this thing? I don't even know what to do with it. They would have cried and ran away.
Right. Like you were trying to do it.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, sir, can I just get around you? Move. Get out of my way. And it was like doing that thing where it was just like I was trying to go left and he was like doing it. And he was just screaming as loud as he could. And I was like, dude, it's 11:30 in the morning.
Right.
Like, what is up with your mouth? Where have you been? And so same thing with like people in jail. It's just like those dudes are so gross, and it's like I don't want to fight you. You're wearing a jumpsuit with no underwear on under there for sure. Like I don't want anything to do with this. Call my dad. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, bro, that shit would be terrible, bro. But there's different levels. I think there's, well, whatever. But yeah, let's going back to the point. We're not doing mortgage fraud to not end up in this shit.
This is why I watch shows like that. So I'm like, let's just play it. I'd rather wait an extra couple months to qualify for loans properly.
Yeah.
Instead of putting myself at risk.
Instead of getting my shit taken.
I'm sweating thinking about going to jail, dude. I promise you.
Bro,
I've always said the two things that I would be most nervous about are going to jail, and I've always said that if I was ever born a girl, I would, from the time of being like 10 years old, I would have the worst panic attack anxiety about eventually having to like give birth one day.
Dude, that's so funny, bro. I've said the same thing.
Biggest thing in the world. It's like that inevitable thing that I know is going to happen one day, and then like I have to do it.
Right.
And it's gonna kill. It's gonna be absolutely horrible. And I know it's coming. I don't know really when, and so going to jail and giving birth are my two fears. Wow.
Well, I mean, for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know, bro. Technology moving like a motherfucker, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Bro. I think there was a guy that already had. Yeah. He's probably in jail right now, beating people up.
Oh my gosh, with socks with tape. Yeah. It was cool. I mean,
I think that was good.
me too. Yeah, I don't know where to go from there, bro.
I think if anything, this episode serves as we just put a lot of fear in people to go about this the right way.
Right, and I'm not gonna lie.
Stay the course.
I feel a lot better than I did an hour, 1 minute, and 23 seconds ago.
Perfect. That was the whole point.
No, bro, I got some good laughs.
Tomorrow's a new day.
I feel better. I might, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have some cereal with some almond milk.
Now, that's how I know we're just like two grown men just like talk. All right, man, I feel better. I'm going to go have some cereal.
Yeah.
I cut out dairy, so I'm going to put some almond milk in there.
Bro, almond milk is pretty legit. You like? I don't like getting my coffee though.
I haven't had regular milk in a year.
Really?
Like probably 2-3 years. Yeah, I just do almond milk and yeah.
Ice cream, none of that.
Yeah, like I'll do ice cream. Like I'll do dairy in that sense. But like even now when I drink coffee, I don't like I'll do like an Americano, which is just espresso and water. Like it's just like milk. I don't know. When I think of milk now, I think about like when people drink milk and like when they talk and like you could see like the
the white shit.
Yeah, dude, kill me, dude.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably one of the most bougiest things I've heard you say. Is I don't like people that drink milk because they have the little white shit on their teeth.
Not a problem. It grosses me out now, and like I just can't do it. So yeah, almond milk's dope though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I've been trying to eat. I mean, I have been eating better. I'm not gonna lie. I got pretty drunk the other day, but it was off of these actually, bro. Yo, do these give you hangovers, bro? Like seltzers?
Yeah, brutal.
Bro, they don't do anything to me, man.
This though, these high noons, I bought these
my wife
specifically
likes
because
those.
I was drinking. Okay.
No, for real. She gets it from CVS or Walgreens.
And cut. Yeah, she gets them from Sephora or wherever that makap store is, right? That's what she gets.
Bro, don't act like you don't know. You said it right the first time.
From Ulta. I was drinking prior, because I don't really drink no more, really, but like Trulies, you know, like the fucking Trulies, like the white claw. Like I was drinking, they come in like tall boys like this, and there was like a lemonade pack or something like that, where it's like strawberry and lemonade and all that, and they're good as fuck. But like I get such bad hangovers the next day. And so I was just at the store the other day, and I was like, I kind of feel like it. And these high noons, they say, are made with real juice and real vodka. So I was like, oh, if anything's not going to give me a hangover, it's that. And I was drinking these yesterday, and I woke up fine. So I don't know. Maybe it's a maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I never liked those lemonade Trulies. I like the regular ones, but because Diego likes those too. You had one when we were downtown.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the tall boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I have a gallon of water every day, so I think it's that. And that day I had that too, and then I pounded probably 15 of those.
Do you for sure take down a gallon every day?
Yeah, bro. It's so funny because my car used to be full of like coffee cups, so now it's just full of these. Like this one I'm about to finish. It's got some electrolytes.
What's in there?
It's like electrolytes, BCAAs, just like stuff to help you recover and shit.
Look at you. You're in it now.
Dude, man. I got some protein powder. I've got 4 meals. Taking some creatine, some of that shit. Pre-workout.
I gotta send you this website. I found it the other day because I've been just eating like shit and just being a slob these last fucking months. And there's a website called eatthismuch.com. And you just like put in like what kind of like vegan, vegetarian, keto, whatever, and then you can type in like how many calories you want to eat on a daily basis,
right?
All your kind of macros, and then it gives you like sample meal plans for the entire week or entire day. So and you can even if you do the subscription, which is like $7 a month, you can connect it to your Amazon account, and you can just press the button, and it'll put all of the materials needed into your Amazon account, so you can just order it. So I didn't do the subscription, but I just literally made one for today, and it tells me like 3 eggs over easy, and a fruit salad for breakfast is 557 calories, and then it tells you like if you highlight it, it'll tell you the exact
Like macro breakdown.
all the macro breakdown, and then exactly
shit, that's
what
cool.
it takes in order to. And then for lunch, because I'm a big ass kid, for lunch, big PB&J sandwich.
Okay, for sure.
With one banana.
Yeah, see,
One
that's pretty
big
cool.
ass
That's good
PB&J.
because right now I'm like, I could do better in measuring, but with the food. But like, actually, yeah, that's pretty cool because what I forget I think it's like I don't know what it's called, but basically same thing. You put like if you want to do low carb, maintain, or calorie deficit. And it gives you all the diet options too. So it tells you how many calories you need to have and then how many of each macros you need. But if that one tells you what the meals would consist of, that's even better.
Yeah, like and for dinner, it's like I'm doing avocado and black bean wrap, and it tells me so for one serving it's 733 calories, carbs 101 grams, fat 27 grams, protein 25, and then it tells me what that meal consists of. So 1 avocado, 1 cup of canned black beans, 2 tortillas, and then it's fried broccoli, Brussels sprouts. So it breaks down everything.
Oh, that's legit.
And so what I did is I just went on Amazon and I just went on this and just looked at what I needed and I just added it to my cart and I got it delivered today. And so
that's legit. Yeah, I checked it out.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try.
I had this client, bro. His name's Nick. He's he competes like in bodybuilding and stuff.
Yeah.
And he came in like a month ago, and I was super excited. I was like, "Yo, bro, but you know something different, bro? You know something different?" And we started. So he's like, "Oh, bro, that's awesome."
Cutting his hair like this.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, bro, check out these shoulders, bro." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Well, bro," he's like, "Tell me what you're doing." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm obviously excited. I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, I wake up, I go to the gym fasted, bro. His face immediately changes, and I'm like, I'm already fucking up. Like I'm already doing something wrong because he's just like, and I was like, he's like, no, just keep telling me what you're doing. I'm like, well, now I feel insecure. I don't want to tell you what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, he's not into fasting.
Well, I mean, he's like, you should definitely. He's like, try like a week of, having something to eat. Like, because his thing is he eats. It's different too because he's like in the middle of competing. But for like the goal that I'm telling him, he's like, listen, if you want to drop weight, that's cool. But if you want to like drop weight and still kind of look good, like you don't want to be flabby. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to be flabby,
Yeah.
And he was basically like, every meal should contain every food group. He's like, have something like, he's like, my breakfast is like, he's like, it'll be a piece of chicken with like a half a cup of rice.
Breakfast?
Yeah, but he's like, he gets down to like 2% body fat.
Oof.
Yeah, but like he's saying that I basically told him, what I'm trying to do, and he's like, you should try that. So I didn't today, and he's like, it's gonna help you with your soreness and all this shit. So I think I'm gonna do that for like a week, kind of see how I feel. But I rock with the working out fasted.
That's what I mean. I do. I like fast in the morning, just like on accident. Like I just wake up.
Yeah,
now
me too.
And, like I just like being older now. When I was like in my early 20s, when I would work over at the opera, like I would wake up and be starving,
Right.
and like I would start work at 8 a.m. and if I didn't eat before if I didn't stop and get food or something on the way to work and eat before 8 o'clock, I couldn't concentrate.
Damn,
That's how
for real?
hungry I'd be. And then we go to coffee break at 10 o'clock in the morning, and if I didn't eat at coffee, like I would have to eat I would have to eat all fucking day. It was ridiculous. And now it's just like I wake up, I let the dogs out. I might have a coffee in the morning, and I might not eat until like 12, 1 o'clock. It's just like not really important.
Yeah, that's what I do is like I'll work out fasted, and then I won't really eat. I'll have my protein shake at noon because it's like a fast absorbing one, so that just your muscles suck that shit up. But before that, I'll have like my scoop of creatine with water, and then I'll fast until 12. So I leave the gym at 9. So I mean, the window could be longer, but it's, a good 9, 10, 11. It's like 3.5 hours of fasted, and then I'll have, the meal at 3, meal at 6, and then I'll come home and have something. But yeah, I feel good, bro. I feel amazing, bro. I only have coffee on Saturdays, but I
gotta stop drinking fucking coffee.
I'll get like a black coffee.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, I feel amazing, bro. It's just the drinking shit, bro. Like I like it's in my blood, bro. There's You
gotta just start doing like what are you drinking? Beers?
No, bro. I haven't had beer in a long time. I had a sip of one the other day, and I was just like, I felt like this.
Yeah, that's it.
So I went from like beers to Trulies, but I think now what I'm gonna start doing is like just like a vodka soda.
Because this is what? This is only. Where the fuck is that? It's like 100 calories.
Well, bro, these Michelob Ultra ones are 80, zero sugar, zero carbs. So I almost feel better just pounding down 100 of these.
That's what I do. That's what I'm saying. Like you can get this, or just make a drink. Yeah, my problem is not the drink. It's the fucking coffee. I last night I drank. Instead of going to Starbucks because the fucking ordering thing online was messed up, and so I went to Dunkin' and I got the order that I usually would get from Starbucks, but I have never ordered from Dunkin'. I went to go pick up this fucking drink because I had a free coupon thing through the app,
right? And
I was like, all right, I'll get a large because it expires tomorrow, and I'll just get it. Dude, I showed up. I thought I was getting a big gulp from 7-Eleven when I showed up, and I was like, that can't be mine,
right.
And my name was on there. I was like, are you fucking? I felt like such a jagoff walking this coffee back to my condo. I was like, I feel like such a fucking idiot. People have to be like, what is this kid doing? Yeah. And I drank the whole fucking thing.
Bro, what is wrong with you, bro?
I had a panic attack at like 6 p.m. I was like, I don't know what's going on,
bro.
I ended up getting like this espresso scaries at like 9:30 at night. I started just like panicking,
right. Bro. And it's so crazy, man. Because like I don't know, it's just like everything is kind of changing for the better, right? But it's just like, bro, I would wake up and then take King to school. I'd get a coffee at Dutch Bros. And then I'll get like a fucking bagel at what's it called, Dunkin' Donuts, and the same thing. And then I'd have lunch, and then it's just fucking stupid. But like, damn, bro, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, I would have a coffee in the morning, and then I'll have one like around 2 or 3, and then I'm be like, man, I gotta cut people at their house, cut at my house. Fucking let me get another one. Just crazy, bro. Like stupid, but like now it's just I feel so like I don't really crash. Like I'm not tired. Now
you don't need it.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good, man.
Stuff, you got those natural like endorphins and shit. Yeah, like when you're just like working and like you need coffee. Like I just started going to Starbucks, so like I don't know what those sizes are, like with the fucking grandes and the whatever. So I thought I was ordering a large, and I went there and it ended up being a medium.
Right.
And I was like, that sucks. So I just justified. I was like, "Oh, I'll drink this," and then later I was
just
like,
grab another one. Yeah,
I'll just go to Dunkin' and get a medium and then that'll equal the large. So I justified going to get another fucking coffee like 3 hours later. Another Americano, which is just espresso.
Yeah.
So I just was like in my condo, shirtless, just pouring sweat for no reason, fucking in the middle of the day, just not knowing what to do with myself.
Bro, that's so funny. Yeah,
so I gotta stop doing that.
But it's I don't know, but like it helps, so it works. You know what I mean?
I get so mad at myself when I do it, but like, and then I can just sit on my computer for like 3 hours at a time now and just hammer out work, and like it's like an Adderall almost. Like I just
maybe I was gonna say, yeah, bro. I don't know, like, cause these are long ass days where I'll leave my house at like 7:30, and by the time I cut somebody at their house, I come back, I cut more. I'm walking upstairs at midnight, so it's like. I mean, thankfully those days aren't as frequent as they used to be, but I don't know. I'm feeling good.
When I wasn't doing coffee, I was doing. I would just drink pre-workout during the day, just like
really,
just as like a and I was like, this isn't good either.
No, that's terrible,
like, I just
bro.
don't know. Yeah, like, what am I doing with my life? I'm gonna end up. I'm like a fiend. I'm gonna end up in jail doing something good. I'm gonna be all hyped up on caffeine. And
you're gonna start the fights instead of trying to avoid them, bro.
I'm gonna go rob a gas station just to get this energy out.
Well, that's let's not do that, bro. We still need to give the people some advice.
We still got a couple episodes left before that.
Yeah. After I figure out how to do the first one, then you can go stab somebody if you want.
I feel like after this episode, next episode's gonna be you're gonna be like, hey, bro, we're gonna do this a little bit early next week. You ready? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm gonna come on, and it's just gonna be an intervention. Yeah. There's gonna be a bunch of people sitting around. Like, yeah, man, a little worried about you. We're all just gonna go around and tell you how we care about you and how you've affected.
Yeah,
our lives.
I'm gonna have your barber, everybody. The miss is gonna be there. Like, yo, you gotta get your shit together, bro. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel bad about myself, but it's okay. Therapeutic.
That's what we're here for, bro. Anything else you want to add, bro, before we say goodnight?
I'm sweating over here.
Yeah, me too. I'm nervous.
I'm nervous for sure. I don't know if we said anything bad. I don't know if I'm going to jail. I don't know what's happening, but I'm ready.
It's all good, bro. I mean, hopefully we don't fucking go to jail. The beautiful editing team that we have here is gonna be working OT to get this out. beep all the time. But we appreciate you guys, man. Well, talk about it later.
Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. Thank you guys so much for staying patient. Like I said, our Instagrams are on the description below. Any questions you guys got, anything like that. I think this is cool though. Like hopefully we don't come back into another episode where I'm super frustrated again. Hopefully there's, take it step by step, and eventually
Progress
report. We'll kind of go over real life stuff that's going on. And if any of you guys, I'm sure a lot of people have also gone through this too. Let's share your experiences, bro. Let's all talk about it because this is the real part that it sounds cool. Like, oh man, cool, 3% down, $1,100 down payment. $11,000 down payment. Cool for sure. All this shit in between. So. Actually, by next time, I will probably talk about, which direction we're choosing to go, and within.
By then you'll know it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then we'll keep you guys updated. So, like I said, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.